John Barilaro has been caught with his pants down, and he loves it. He's proud about it.
We got them this time, we pulled their pants down.
But who did he get? After our reporter Callum Foote exposed the Nats, led by John Barilaro in New South Wales, for domain squatting, that is, filching other people's identities online.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
And setting up fake websites pretending to be them in order to discredit them, he's had to backflip and drop these domain names. Now, this is barely legal stuff, certainly highly unethical, but of course John is proud of it.
They were slow off the mark. It's a bit of fun.
Slow off the mark and just a bit of fun. In John's mind,
if you're not ready to campaign, you're not ready to govern.
Now, when the new candidate for the upper hunter, David Lozelle, was asked about this in an interview with scone.com.au, a regional publication, he disowned it. He disavowed it. He said,
"Oh, look, I don't endorse it, but I understand it's part of a campaign, you know."
Is it a case of good cop, bad cop, or is it just a case of David Lozelle doing the right thing? After David disavowed this domain squatting, said he wasn't going to be part of it, John swooped, butted in, unprompted, and said,
I'm sorry, but it's not illegal.
He claimed it's barely legal, if that. It reminds us of the words of Gladys Berejiklian when finally she had the gumption to say about pork barrelling, the gross misuse of taxpayer money, it's not illegal. John, if it's not illegal, if you support this and it's a good pants down tactic, why did you pull the domain names? Why do you not continue this legal practice? John did not let an opportunity slip to attack his adversaries, anybody who doesn't agree with him, because he's got the mainstream on side. So he attacked Michael West Media.
I take very little advice from Michael West Media. I take very little advice from sore losers.
Now, as you can see by the smile on my face, we think we're the winners. He was the guy that pulled down his websites. In any case, this isn't about winning or losing. We're not losers. We're not in politics. We're just reporting on politics, on political corruption, and on dodgy politicians. So in the pants down stakes, who actually has their pants down? John, is it you or is it us? First of all, he says it's not politics.
You might think it's political or it's a political...
Then he backflips, says it is politics.
This is a political party and we are in the political game.
Then he says he's a tradie.
I'm a tradie who is grassroots.
He's not a tradie, he's a politician. This kind of political behaviour would not be tolerated unless the mainstream media was dominated by two corrupted organisations, News Corporation and Nine, who are effectively fanboys or cheerleaders for the coalition government. Just yesterday, the Sydney Morning Herald ran a piece, quite a herogram, about Gladys Berejiklian's top PR guy, her top media advisor, strategist guy. Now, in the old days, newspapers would never have written stories about PR guys. Where are they when it comes to political corruption? Where are they when it comes to dirty tactics? Talking about dirty things, of course, John's media team have been pumping out the photos on Twitter and social media and so on. John saluting coal trains, John at coal mines in his hard hat. Just the other day, he's out at the Airlie mine, which is owned by Centennial Coal, which is owned in turn by a foreign multinational coal company, the type of foreign multinational coal company that doesn't pay much tax, if any. This billion-dollar coal mine employs 130 workers. And it's owned by a foreign corporation. 130 workers is a fraction of what some Woolworths stores employ. And who was he down there with? He was down there with a Sky News pundit and Joel Fitzgibbon.
On the Labor website, well, we know they're not actually for coal, even though they picked a ex-coal miner.
He's trying to make the point that Labor's against coal. Well, if Labor's against coal, then why is Joel Fitzgibbon down the mine with you? John, you're all over the place, son. You haven't just pulled your pants down, you're now tripping over your dacks. You're down there with a Labor guy, this trying to wedge Labor on coal. There is no plan for transition. All the people you represent in New South Wales are going to be left when the music stops with nothing but holes in the ground, with a moonscape. Coal mines peppered through the Hunter Valley, stranded assets everywhere because the government, both federally and in New South Wales, have no plan for transition. This cheerleading for coal is ridiculous. It doesn't matter what you think about coal or what you think about climate change. What matters is what the people overseas are doing about it, what goes on globally. It matters about demand for coal. If you really cared, if you really had some vision for regional Australia, you would have a plan. So when the music stops and it's slowly fading, all these villages and towns around New South Wales and indeed around Australia might have something to look forward to. They're being misled. You are pretending that coal is going to go on forever. Like this video if you'd like to see John Barilaro next time he's in a coal mine, perhaps in the next few hours, wear the correct PPE, that is protective equipment, reflective pants, preferably worn up. John, new winter wear coming soon. Slush for people that like to play dirty.